So let's talk about wellness strategies for total brain-body balance. And again, these were the things that I started to adopt in my life, and over the course of the last 2+ years have dedicated my healing process to. So we talked about the full blood panel test and neurotransmitter screening. Again, the name of the tests I had done were a NutrEval, N-U-T-R-E-V-A-L, NutrEval, and a NeuroScreen. So this doctor in particular, Dr. Green, it's not his proprietary test. I know that you can go to other holistic medical doctors and request these evaluations. They can do them because I think they ship them off. The lab is in Wisconsin, I believe. It's called Pharmason Labs. They're the one that actually does the evaluations and analyzes the blood work and the urine that they get. So you can ask for the NutrEval and the NeuroScreen at any holistic MD, and he can request that for you. But again, if I look at my life before I got these tests, I was just kind of banging around in the dark, hoping that I was going to find something to make me feel better. But by getting these tests, and they weren't inexpensive, but they also didn't break the bank, it was one of those things where I invest, $2,000-ish in these tests and these supplements. And I remember, guys, the first week that I came home at the end of the 7 days, when I'd started weight training, and I'd started meditating, and I'd started eating differently and taking these supplements, I don't know if you've ever felt this before, but I could almost feel, I don't know what it was, whether it was the neurons or the synapses, what was going on, but I could feel electrical charges in my brain turning on. I remember sitting in my kitchen and I could feel like little fireworks in my brain. And I was like, something's going on. This is good. And it took me a good 6 months of consistent weight training, daily 30-minute meditation, gratitude prayers, cultivating a relationship with God and praying and asking for things, changing my diet, engaging in conscientious supplementation, and also getting out of the isolation mode I was in, right? And this whole list was a distillation of my protocol. I knew I couldn't just focus on the food. I knew I couldn't just meditate or just weight train. It had to be everything. And the only way that I could do that was making it the number one priority in my life. My healing had to be the number one priority. And the last thing that I want to talk about is, on this particular list, is the importance of reaching out and getting our ego out of the way and asking for help and asking for support. Once I did that, once I actually told people, man, the response was incredible. Once I moved past the shame, once I moved past the guilt I was feeling and I told people, they embraced me with so much love, and they embraced me with so much sweetness and support, and creating a community. And I was amazed at how many people were like, you know what? I've been battling depression too, and I haven't told anyone. And almost everyone I talked to who had a similar story did the same thing. They isolated themselves out of shame or fear or guilt. And what I'm here today to encourage you guys to do is, beyond the food and the meditation and the spirituality and the fitness and all these things that I really feel can be foundational in healing your brain chemistry and boosting your mood, is the sense of community, the sense of belonging is so important here. And what I grounded into in this process of sharing my story on YouTube, I also did a workshop last year on this very subject where I had people come and we worked on all of these subjects, was realizing that which is most personal to us is actually the most universal. That the struggles and the pain and the sadness and the depression and the suicidal thoughts I was going through, that thousands of people online could relate to. And they said, thank you for sharing your story. The thing that I was so afraid to share, the thing that I was so ashamed of, became an opportunity to have a more genuine, authentic, raw connection with these people that I'd never met before, people that I had in my life. Thank you. So it's, oh boy, it's just interesting being up on the stage because there was also this thing of people, they're used to me being like the funny guy, making everybody laugh. But what happens when the funny guy gets sad? Tears of a clown, right? Then what happens? But you know what? I value more than what I used to do, which was trying to put on a dog and pony show for everyone and being a people pleaser and making everyone happy. People pleaser, right here, right? Everyone's got to be happy. Everyone's got to be happy, right? Mom and dad can't fight. Everyone's got to be happy. That I was ignoring my own authentic experience of life, right? That I didn't have to please everyone. I didn't have to make everyone laugh. I just had to practice showing up as myself, even if myself in that moment was sad, depressed, anxious. It was like, here I am. I'm not going to fake it anymore, right? I'm not going to fake it anymore.